Good morning, parents. This is Miss Moravits from Meridianville Middle School. I am your student's eighth grade science teacher, or I may have them for the Equal Time class, which is either enrichment or um, help with reading and things like that, whatever we need to do. Um, I wanted to take a minute and go over some things with you about kind of how the class works. There's been some confusion and maybe even a few misconceptions about how things work in here. So I wanted to give you a tour of our Google Classroom and how it works and talk to you about some different policies and procedures that we have in here so that you can understand exactly how things work in here. I'm going to start with, first of all, I'm going to take you to a student view of a Google Classroom. Let me go to present my entire screen. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go and take a look at a Google Classroom so that you can see exactly kind of how this thing works. Okay, right here. I talked to a parent and to a student. They said it was okay to share their Google Classroom with you and show you how this all kind of works. First of all, on the stream, we usually have an agenda for the day. You can tell that I kind of like this whole llama screen thing. But yeah, and on, I guess it was Friday, we had a get your stuff done and turn it in kind of day. Today, we were talking about grades and turning in missing work, and we were continuing on with our atomic mass and things like that. So on the stream, they're going to have all different kinds of things like that, telling them what it is that's going on. Then we have our Classwork tab. Now, this particular student has turned in almost everything for this week because we have the current assignments for the week. And they mostly turned in everything else. We changed our little Artemis thing here because yesterday we were supposed to watch the Artemis launch and we were really excited about it. And then they scrubbed the launch. So we're going to try to share the live feed again, maybe on Friday. They have a link right here under this Artemis tab. This is how we're going to get there and how we're going to the moon and all kinds of stuff. This is the live feed. And this was another video. So these are some videos. This is the live feed if you want to watch it with them. And I think they're going to try again on Friday. Let's see. The best way for you to look and see what their grades are and how they are doing in here is to have them click on that Classwork tab and then click on View Your Work. And this will show you a list of the assignments and grades. This will show what's graded. This will show what's been assigned, but maybe hasn't been turned in. This one says missing because we were going to do it yesterday, but we didn't. So it's not anything to worry about there. This was a little extra assignment that we did. Some did it, some didn't, and that's okay. But it shows grades and things like that. On Google Classroom, if you see a 0 on an assignment, that means the student has just not turned it in or not attached a file or not done something they were supposed to do with that. I did not, well, I did originally put zeros in PowerSchool, but I changed that and I showed some mercy and some grace. And in PowerSchool, if it has a 50 and it's marked as missing, that means they never turned in that assignment. And technically that should be a 0. But like I said, I showed some grace and mercy. There's a couple of assignments down here from the very beginning of the year. And even if your student transferred in late, these are super easy assignments to do. There are things that just need to be clicked on in here. For example, the syllabus and cell phone policy receipt. If they view the details of that assignment, it has a little form here. It also has a document attached to it that tells, kind of how the class works and things like that. And all they have to do is click mark as done, or in the case of now, because it already has a grade on it, they may have to click resubmit. So if they have a 0 on that, they need to click resubmit or mark it as done or something to that effect. The same thing for the responsibilities and expectations. These are things that we went over about things that are expected in class and how class works. You can feel free to look through these things with them. And I would encourage you to have them, show you the presentation on responsibilities and expectations and show you that syllabus and let you read through it with them so that they can see, they can explain to you how things work and you can have a better understanding of the class. And again, this one, they'll probably have to click resubmit because grades have already been assigned to it. But if it has a 0 on it, that means they just never, ever turned it in or marked it as done to begin with. Reflections down here. These are just little bell ringers. And, sometimes they ask, why do we have to write in science? Well, you write because you're a human being and you have to be able to communicate. And we have to be able to communicate with others and get along with others. And these are little moments of social emotional learning that get them focused on thinking for the day. The first one that we do, this reflection right here, I'll show you the assignment. It says type your response in the private comments box. And these are the private comments boxes. And this is where they type and then they submit their comment and then they mark it as done. They restate it in their own words. They reflect on it and write about what it means. And then they have to relate to it by writing about a connection they have to that particular quote. And the first one that we always do in every one of my classes, I absolutely love this. It says, if the words you spoke appeared on your skin, would you still be beautiful? And they have to think about the words that they say to themselves, to others, even just the words that they think. And it really, it's kind of a mic dropper in the class. They kind of go, oh, wow. Ooh, what did I say? Anyway, so it's a way to get them thinking and processing and deciding, hey, how do I want to talk to myself? How do I want to talk to other people? Would I be embarrassed if those words that I said actually showed up on my skin? Would I be embarrassed if my parents saw it or my grandparents or my aunt or my uncle or anybody that I really cared about? Would that embarrass me? Or would I be proud of what I said? So again, these are just little reflections. They write 3 to 5 sentences is all I ask for on that. There are 5 of them for each week. And in order to make 100 on the reflections for the week, and I'll show you the grade system in a second, they'll need to complete all 5 of them. If they only complete 4 of them, that's an 80. 3 of them is a 60. 2 of them is a 40, and 1 of them is a 20. And none of them should be a 0, but I didn't put anything less than a 50 in the grade book. So in the Power School. Now, it may show up as a 0 here, but what happens is reflections 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 get averaged into 1 grade in Power School. Nearpod right here. Any assignment like this, these are usually just notes that we take. This was a Nearpod presentation that we did on the scientific method, and they are allowed to either create a document within the assignment and type their notes. They can create a Google Slides because sometimes we're going to use these things to make presentations, or they can take notes in their composition book. And in their composition book, when they're done, they still go ahead and create a document. And on that document, they can take a picture of the assignment. They go right up here to insert image, and under image, they go to camera and they take that picture. Anyway, they just take that picture and it goes into the document. I'm so sorry, the phone is ringing. I will be right back. Okay, I will take care of that in a moment. Anyway, once they're done, they can click turn in. Now, if they create the document outside of the assignment, then they're going to have to go back to the assignment and they're going to have to attach it. And they do that by going right here, add or create. They either need to add it from their Google Drive if they did it there, or create it. But if they create it within the assignment and then do that, it's already there. And then all they have to do is click mark as done. Now this student has already turned everything in. So if he needed to update something or whatever, he could click resubmit. Okay, matter, elements, and compounds. This was a video, same process. Khan Academy was also a video. And this was also a video, Generation Genius. Join Google Classroom has been taken care of. No problem there. Atomic structure, protons, neutrons, and electrons. Most of these are videos where they take notes. And again, they are given the option of either taking the notes on a document, a slide, or they can write it in their composition book if they prefer that, and then just upload a picture of their notes for me. Either way is fine. We took some quizzes here. And on these quizzes, because they were kind of early in the year, I did allow them to use their notes. And personally, on these particular quizzes, I was okay with them using their notes. And a lot of times I will be. If they take good notes, there's a reward for that. They can be able to use those notes and be able to, sometimes it's not all about knowing the answer in your head. Sometimes it's about being able to find the answer if you need to. Again, we had more reflections, the periodic table, how it got its name. That was a great video, explained it to them very well. The introduction, and what I need to get across to you in this at this moment is I need you to understand that simply because, let me take that away. Simply because we are using these computers on a daily basis does not mean I'm teaching virtually. This is not a virtual class. This is a person-to-person, in person, face-to-face class. I just happen to be using digital tools to present everything. And because I'm using the digital tools, even if they're not here, they have access to go back and look at things if they need to. They can go back to every one of those videos and pull any information they need. If they're absent, they can still stay caught up. I designed each and every assignment so that even if they're not here and they don't have a Chromebook, they could easily access Google Classroom on their phone if they needed to and complete the assignment and do it, or send me a message and say, hey, I'm out today, I need some help with this or whatever, and I can do my best to help them. And I don't even have a problem with Google Meeting with them if they're at home or whatever. I can still do that to help them out to understand something. Again, my heart is I love being in this classroom, but I don't love carrying home stacks and stacks of papers to grade. And we do some things on paper. For example, we did our periodic table that we did. We colored this together in class, and then we updated it with some more information another time. And all they had to do with that was paste it into their composition book and send me a picture of it. So, that's how they submitted the assignment. Another great way about doing it this way is we can't lose stuff. Now, if they lost their periodic table because it was paper, I have more copies in here and they were able to come get it and able to do that. So I'm not terribly, concerned about, making copies of things like that. I just want to keep it streamlined. I want them to understand how to keep up with their stuff. And one thing I really want them to learn this year is accountability. Something that happens between 8th grade and 9th grade is they go into 9th grade and they're like, I wish my teachers had warned me that they're not going to take my late work. So I want them to understand that they have to get this work turned in. They have to learn how to submit it. So I'm holding them accountable for that. I did show grace and mercy, and I'm okay with that grace and mercy thing. And I believe I need grace and mercy myself a lot of times. But today they got, and I'm gonna show you this, but I'm gonna cover up the name. make sure that you can't see that. Okay, so they got a grade report that looked like this out of Power School. And it looks like it might be, yeah, you can kind of see it, but it may be backwards for you. I don't know. But it has their grades on there. It has whether or not they're missing things. And on here, I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm trying to show you. Yeah, it's a little bit backwards. I'm sorry. Um, it will show a 50 and the MI for missing if they're missing that assignment. They were given time in class today to work on that. I've given them numerous days to go back and turn things in. They also got a list of just specifically the assignments that they were missing. They got a list like that as well, so that they could turn those things in. Those assignments mostly are pretty late. Anything that's current, I'm still giving full credit for. But if it's an old assignment, a really old assignment especially, the best grade they're going to get on that is a 70. There's got to be a little bit of accountability there, but a 70 is still way better than a 0. And I told them to do that. I had a couple of students make the comment after they saw that there were 50s instead of 0s, when in particular, oh, well, my grade's fine now. I'm not going to do this. Well, yeah, you need to, because I'm going to let your parents know that those 50s should have been 0s, but they're not. So I expect you, out of respect for that gift of grace and mercy, to at least attempt to get these things turned in. I am more than happy to give them credit and give them time and to work on these things with them. We worked on it in class. We had a couple of other little assignments for those who didn't have makeup work to do. Nobody's falling behind because of this day. But I needed you to know as parents, first of all, where my heart is on all of that. And second of all, how, just in general, how the class works. Please know this is not a virtual class. I am with them every day. We will show a video and I will stop the video and we will talk about it, and I will stop it so they can get the notes that they need and explain different things to them and add to. But I do like the digital tools, and there are some really great digital tools out there for us to use, and I'd like to continue using them. Sometimes there's a video that explains things better than I can in 5 minutes, where I would take half an hour and still not get it across to them, as well as, a couple of images that were right there or a couple of words that were right there. I'm not above saying that there's somebody that may be able to explain some things better than me sometimes, and I'm all right with that. But I'm still here to explain to them, and I'm still here to go back and make further explanation when we need it and make sure that everybody understands. If you have questions for me, if you want to know how the class works, the email that I'm sending out to you with this video link will have my Google Voice number in it. You can use that Google Voice number to text me or call me. It will show that it's Google Voice, and I will know that it's a student's parent that's trying to contact me, and I will do my best to answer. I do have a second job, and sometimes I'm working after school. This week, I have taken some days off from that job so that I'm not doing it this week. But I do have that second job. So if I don't answer, it's not because I don't want to talk to you. It's because maybe I just can't get to my phone right then. So send me a text, because I do check those and I can get back to you as quick as I can. You can email me. We can set up a time to talk in the classroom if you need to do that. My conference time, or my planning time, is second period. And that is from, what is second period? 9:34 to 10:30. I'm here. We can talk by phone. We can talk in person. We can sit down with your student together. I would encourage you to sit with your student and have them show you all of this on Google Classroom. Another thing that you can do is reply to this email and make the request to me, please add me to your Google Classroom. And I can invite you as a parent for your student. And then what you can do is set up a way that you'll get a report either daily or weekly of their work and their grades and what's missing and what's going on. But, there is a way to do that. If you need help getting into Power School, I don't know how to help you with that as a parent. You will have to call the main office for that, because I know how to help the kids a little bit, but I don't even have access to all their Power School information. I have usernames and passwords that they have written on cards. In case they forget their username or password, they can come get their card from me and they can write it down, and take care of getting back into their computer or whatever. Mainly, please know that these kids are working hard. They are trying. The majority of them are, they're adjusting, and they're really working and learning and becoming accountable and doing the work. And if you could see their faces in here when they get excited about something, that is exactly why I do what I do. I have turned into such a science nerd this year. It's not even funny. My experience at Space Camp for Teachers, oh my goodness, I can't even begin to tell you how wonderful that was. And so when they changed me from math to science, I was like, really? Science? Okay, I'm good. I'm down for this. Please know that I am here for your student. I am here for you if you have questions. Um, you know, uh, Let me know. Let me know how I can help you. Let me know. Let me know if you're having an issue with something. Talk to me. That's why I'm here. I hope that this cleared up maybe some misconceptions that you had about the class or how it worked. Maybe even some misconceptions about me. But I'm here for these babies, and there's the llama again. I like the llama. Anyway, I'm sorry, I can get distracted too. I tell the kids you can't have those little conversations, because I'm like, oh, squirrel, what's going on? And I know there's other kids in here that do that too. We haven't had a huge amount of discipline issues. Everybody has been pretty. Everybody's done really well. I can't complain. So you guys let me know if you need anything. I hope that you have a very blessed day. And please talk to me if you have questions. I'll send out all the other information in the email. Um, you guys have a blessed day. And thank you for the privilege of teaching your babies.